It's 1938 and the world is on the brink of war. The Nazis, led by Adolf Hitler, are obsessed with proving their ideology of Aryan supremacy. Heinrich Himmler, one of Hitler's closest confidants and the head of the SS, believes in a theory that traces the origins of the Aryan race to Tibet. In pursuit of this theory, Himmler organizes the German Tibet expedition, sending a team of scientists and SS officers to the remote mountains of Asia. The expedition is led by Ernst Schaffer, a zoologist with a passion for exploration. Accompanying him are Bruno Beger, an anthropologist, Karl Wienert, a geophysicist, Edmund Gier, an entomologist, and SS officer Ernst Kraus. The group is determined to uncover evidence to support the Nazi ideology, but their journey soon takes a dark and mysterious turn. On a mild June morning, the expedition arrives in the Indian northern state of Sikkim, in its capital of Gangtok, which was the only way to get through to Tibet. The expedition met with severe delays and questions by Indian authorities. After many months, they finally depart India, heading towards Lhasa, the capital of Tibet, which lies nestled high in the Himalayas. The landscape is a breathtaking tapestry of jagged peaks, deep valleys, and ancient monasteries clinging precariously to cliff sides. Now winter, the air is thin and crisp, filled with the scent of pine and the faint smoke of incense from distant temples. The team is accompanied by a small army of local servants, Sherpas, yaks, and donkeys, all laden with the equipment and supplies needed for their arduous journey. Each member of the expedition is bundled in heavy woolen coats, fur-lined hats, and sturdy leather boots, their breath visible in the frigid morning air. The group winds its way along narrow rocky paths, the bells on the yaks jangling softly with each step. The Sherpas, experienced in navigating the treacherous terrain, lead the way with sure-footed confidence. The servants follow close behind, ensuring the safety of the precious cargo. Scientific instruments, crates of provisions, and tents to withstand the harsh mountain weather.
Finally, we are here and about to embark on a journey that will rewrite history, gentlemen. Himmler himself has placed his faith in us. We must not fail.
I have read the ancient texts and studied the skulls. I am convinced we will find the proof we need in Tibet.
The geomagnetic surveys might also reveal something unusual about this region. I can feel it.
Let's just hope we can handle the altitude and the isolation. The Himalayas are not forgiving.
As they ascend higher into the mountains, the weather grows more unpredictable. Snow flurries swirl around them, and icy winds cut through their clothing, but their determination drives them forward. The path becomes steeper and more treacherous, and the team must navigate around sheer drops and over unstable bridges. Despite the physical challenges, the expedition members are filled with a sense of purpose. They believe they are on the verge of a monumental discovery, one that will validate their ideological beliefs and secure their place in history. The presence of the Sherpas and servants, who seem almost part of the landscape themselves, adds an air of exoticism and mystique to their journey. Each night they set up camp in the shadow of towering peaks, the flickering flames of their campfires casting eerie shadows on the surrounding rocks. The team gathers around the fire, discussing their plans and speculating on what they might find. The Sherpas and servants meanwhile prepare meals of yak meat and barley porridge, their quiet efficiency a stark contrast to the excited chatter of the German scientists. As the expedition progresses, the landscape becomes even more rugged and inhospitable. They traverse glacial streams and navigate through dense forests of rhododendron and juniper. The altitude sickness begins to take its toll on some of the team members, causing headaches and fatigue. But they press on, driven by the promise of discovery. The quest to trace the origins of the Aryan race was not a new phenomenon. It dates back centuries, intertwining with the development of racial theories and nationalistic ideologies that sought to place one group above others. This journey through history uncovers a complex tapestry of beliefs, each attempting to explain human origins in a way that supported their own cultural and political agendas. In the early 19th century, the term Aryan was adopted by European scholars studying ancient languages. Originally used to describe the people who spoke the languages of the Indo-European family, the term gradually evolved to denote a racial category. This shift was driven by the desire to trace European lineage to a prestigious and ancient source, thereby legitimizing contemporary claims of superiority. How could a term that once merely described linguistic roots become a cornerstone of racial ideology? One of the earliest proponents of the Aryan superiority theory was the French aristocrat Arthur de Gobineau. In his 1853 to 1855 work, An Essay on the Inequality of the Human Races, Gobineau argued that the Aryan race was responsible for all major advancements in civilization. His theory posited that as the Aryans mixed with other races, their purity and thus their superiority diminished.
The history of civilization is the history of the Aryan race. Without the guiding influence, humanity would have remained in a state of barbarism.
Gobineau's work laid the groundwork for subsequent racial theories which were eagerly adopted and adapted by nationalist movements across Europe. In Germany, these ideas found fertile ground, particularly as the country unified in the late 19th century and sought to assert its dominance on the global stage. The unification of Germany brought with it a surge of nationalism, and with it the need to root German identity in an illustrious past. By the early 20th century, the racial theories surrounding Aryan origins had taken a distinctly pseudoscientific turn. Eugenics, the pseudo-discipline aimed at improving the genetic quality of the human population, gained popularity. In Germany, these ideas were championed by figures such as Houston Stewart Chamberlain, whose writings further entrenched the belief in Aryan superiority.
The Teutonic races, particularly the Germans, are the true heirs of the Aryan legacy. They are destined to lead humanity into a new era of greatness.
Chamberlain's ideas resonated deeply with the nascent Nazi movement. Hitler and his followers seized upon these theories, using them to justify their expansionist ambitions and the horrors they would unleash upon the world. Central to their ideology was the belief that the Aryans, originating from a noble and pure race, had been chosen to rule.
Our task is to uncover the purest blood, the highest form of humanity. It is from this Aryan stock that the masters of the world will emerge.
Contrasting sharply with these racial theories was the scientific perspective offered by Charles Darwin. In 1859, Darwin's On the Origin of Species revolutionized the understanding of human evolution. Darwin proposed that all life forms, including humans, evolved through natural selection from common ancestors. This theory implied that humans originated from a single source and dispersed globally.
It is not the strongest of the species that survive, nor the most intelligent, but the one most responsive to change.
Later scientific advancements, particularly in genetics and anthropology, would support Darwin's theory. Evidence increasingly pointed to Africa as the cradle of human life. Fossil discoveries such as those at Olduvai Gorge and the Great Rift Valley revealed that early hominids had lived in Africa millions of years ago, supporting the out-of-Africa theory of human migration.
The evidence is overwhelming. Our ancestors originated in Africa, and from there spread across the globe, adapting to new environments and evolving diverse cultures.
Despite the mounting evidence supporting human origins in Africa, the allure of Aryan superiority theories persisted in Nazi Germany. The German Tibet expedition of 1938, led by Ernst Schaefer, was part of this ongoing effort to find tangible proof of these racial ideologies. The Nazis hoped that uncovering Aryan roots in the Himalayas would lend credence to their claims of superiority and provide a mythical origin story to bolster their regime.
Tibet holds the key to our past. By unlocking its secrets, we can prove the Aryan race's preeminence and rightful place at the top of the human hierarchy.
After many weeks of grueling travel, the team finally arrives in Tibet. It is now January 1939. They set up camp near a remote monastery where they are greeted with curiosity and suspicion by the local monks. The monastery, with its intricate carvings and prayer flags fluttering in the wind, stands as a beacon of serenity amidst the harsh landscape.
Why have you come to this sacred place?
We seek knowledge, wisdom from your ancient texts and relics. We believe that the origins of our people are linked to this land.
The mountains hold many secrets, but not all are meant to be uncovered.
These monks are hiding something. We must gain their trust and access their archives.
As they settle into their new base, the team resumes their work with renewed vigor. The scientists meticulously document their findings, taking measurements, photographs, and samples. The servants and Sherpas continue to support them, managing the day-to-day logistics of camp life. The expedition's presence creates a stir among the local population. Curious villagers come to observe the strange foreigners, and the monks watch warily from a distance. Despite the language barrier, there is a mutual respect born out of shared reverence for the mountains that surround them. The team spends days studying the monastery's archives and conducting surveys in the surrounding areas. They measure skulls, take soil samples, and record geomagnetic anomalies. But their findings are inconclusive and frustration begins to set in.
There's nothing here that supports our theory. The geomagnetic readings are normal.
I've catalogued dozens of insect species, but nothing extraordinary.
We need to dig deeper. The answers are here. I can feel it.
Patience, Bruno. We cannot afford to miss any detail.
One night, as the team sits around the campfire, a local guide approaches them with a tale.
There is a cave, high in the mountains, known to hold ancient artifacts. Few have ventured there and returned.
Take us there. We must see it for ourselves.
The next morning, the team sets off with the guide, ascending the steep icy slopes to the cave. The Sherpas lead the way, ensuring the safety of the expedition members. The yaks and donkeys laden with equipment struggle on the narrow path, their breaths visible in the cold air. As they enter the cave, a sense of unease settles over them. The air is thick with an ancient musty odor, and the walls are adorned with strange, undecipherable symbols.
These symbols, they're not Tibetan. They seem older, from a different culture entirely.
Look at these artifacts, this pottery, these tools. They're unlike anything I've seen.
Document everything. This could be the breakthrough we need.
As they delve deeper into the cave, they come across a sealed chamber. With great effort, they manage to open it, revealing a collection of well-preserved skeletons.
These skulls, they match the Aryan features described in our studies.
But how did they end up here in Tibet?
There's something else here, a scroll written in an ancient script.
The team brings the scroll back to the monastery, where the monks reluctantly agree to help translate it. As the translation progresses, a chilling story unfolds.
The scroll speaks of a great migration, a people fleeing a cataclysm. They came from a land far to the west, seeking refuge in these mountains.
This could be the origin story we're looking for.
Yes, but it also speaks of a curse, a warning to those who seek to uncover the past.
Nonsense. We're scientists. We deal in facts, not superstitions.
As they leave the monastery, a sense of foreboding hangs over them. The monks' warnings echo in their minds, but their mission drives them onward. That night, strange things begin to happen. The team members start experiencing vivid nightmares and eerie visions. They hear whispers in the wind and see shadows moving in the corners of their eyes.
I can't sleep. I feel like something is watching us.
It's just the altitude and exhaustion. We're close to our goal. We can't stop now.
Could there be truth to the monks' warnings? Are we tampering with forces beyond our understanding?
As days pass, their mental states deteriorate. Paranoia and fear grip the team, and tensions run high. They begin to turn on each other, each suspecting the others of sabotage.
You're hiding something, Schaefer. What did the monks tell you?
Nothing that concerns you. Focus on the mission.
In a final desperate attempt to find answers, Schaefer and the rest of the team return to the cave. They search through the artifacts, hoping to find a clue to explain the madness.
Look at this. Another scroll hidden beneath the altar.
It's written in the same script. Translate it quickly.
As they decipher the text, a horrifying truth is revealed. The scroll speaks of a ritual performed by the ancient Aryans, a pact with dark forces to ensure their survival. The curse was real, and anyone who sought their secrets would be doomed to madness and death.
We have to leave. Now. Destroy everything.
No, we need to take this back with us. It's the proof Himmler wanted.
But it's too late. All their time in the cave excavating has disturbed the balance. The section of the cave they are in begins to collapse, as if the mountain itself is rejecting their presence. In the chaos, Schaefer is separated from the others. He manages to escape. Clutching the scroll, the rest of the team is nearly buried alive. As the 1938 expedition delved deeper into the mysteries of Tibet, the stark contrast between the mythic origins of the Aryan race and the scientific consensus on human evolution became ever more apparent. The Nazi obsession with these myths highlighted the dangers of pseudoscience and the lengths to which regimes would go to justify their actions.
How far have we come in search of a truth that may never exist? Are we merely chasing shadows in the mountains, driven by a dangerous ideology?
The near tragic and mysterious end of the expedition served as a haunting reminder of the perils of intertwining science with ideology. The unanswered questions, the eerie discoveries, and the risks the team members took underscored the futility and madness of the Nazi quest. Schaffer and the team returned to Germany in August 1939, haunted by the events in Tibet. He presents the scrolls to Himmler, who is ecstatic, but the dark secrets within it remain locked away.
You've done well, Schaefer. This will prove our superiority to the world.
But at what cost? The madness, near death. Was it worth it?
The mystery of the Aryan origins and the Tibetan curse remains unsolved, a dark chapter in the annals of history. The Nazi obsession with Aryan supremacy continues, driven by half-truths and dangerous myths, leading to unspeakable horrors in the years to come.
The truth is buried in the mountains of Tibet, and some secrets are better left untouched.
In the end, the story of the German Tibet expedition and the quest for Aryan origins becomes another tragic tale of human hubris, a reminder of the darkness that can consume us when we seek power and superiority at any cost. Yet another dark chapter in human history. It serves as a cautionary tale about the dangers of ideological extremism and the manipulation of science for political purposes.
We sought the origins of our race in the mountains of Tibet, but all we found were the echoes of our own ambitions and fears. The truth remains elusive, and perhaps it is better that way.
The legacy of these theories, the tragic consequences they wrought, and the haunting mysteries of the Tibetan expedition linger on, leaving an indelible mark on the annals of history.